In the late 1970s, Hollywood was a place of glamour and excitement, where stars were celebrated and the bright lights of fame shone brightly. However, beneath the surface of this glittering world, many celebrities faced personal struggles. Addiction, pressure, and the constant need to maintain their public image took a heavy toll on their lives. This era was marked by both the thrill of success and the darker side of fame. One of the stars caught in this turmoil was Gig Young, a talented actor whose personal problems ultimately overshadowed his accomplishments. Gig Young, born Byron Ellsworth Barr, was once a well-loved Hollywood actor known for his charm and good looks. He won an Academy Award, which brought him fame and respect in the film industry. To the public, he seemed to have it all: talent, success, and charisma. But behind the scenes, Gig's life was falling apart. He struggled with alcohol addiction for many years, which affected both his career and relationships. His drinking made it difficult for him to secure steady work, leading to a decline in opportunities. His personal life was also in turmoil. He had been married 5 times before meeting Kim Schmidt, with each marriage ending in heartbreak. Despite his charming public image, Gig faced financial troubles, loneliness, and deep inner pain. Kim Schmidt was a 31-year-old German actress and script supervisor, just starting to build her career in Hollywood. Unlike her famous husband, she was not well known, but she was full of hope and ambition. Kim was smart, enthusiastic, and ready to take on the challenges of the film industry. When she met Gig, she saw more than just the troubled man the world knew. She believed in him and the future they could create together, despite his issues. Gig Young's entry into Kim Schmidt's life came at a time when both were at pivotal crossroads. Their paths crossed in early 1978 during a film project, where Kim was working as a production assistant. From the moment they met, there was an undeniable chemistry. Young was captivated by Kim's youthful energy and optimism, while Kim was drawn to the allure of a man who had once been one of Hollywood's brightest stars. Their romance blossomed quickly, marked by whirlwind dates at upscale restaurants and intimate evenings filled with laughter. For Kim, it felt like a fairy tale. She was enamored by the glitz of Hollywood and the prospect of being with someone as celebrated as Gig Young. However, their relationship also bore the weight of age and experience. Gig, at 66, was well aware of his fading star power and the challenges that came with it. Despite the rapid development of their romance, there were hints of trouble lurking beneath the surface. Young's struggles with alcoholism and mental health issues began to emerge, yet Kim remained hopeful that her love could help him find his footing again. On September 27, 1978, Gig Young and Kim Schmidt exchanged vows in a small, private ceremony in New York City. The wedding, attended by only a few close friends and family members, was a reflection of their desire for intimacy amid the chaos of Hollywood. Decorated with fresh flowers and candles, the setting was simple yet elegant, embodying the couple's hopes for a new beginning. As they stood before the officiant, Gig looked dapper in a tailored suit, while Kim radiated beauty in her understated wedding dress. They shared vows filled with love and promises of support, envisioning a bright future together. However, the shadows of Young's past loomed large over the celebration. Friends and guests sensed an underlying tension as the couple navigated Gig's well-documented battles with addiction, leaving many to wonder if the wedding was an escape for Young or a genuine union of two people in love. Despite the challenges that lay ahead, Kim's optimism shone brightly during the early days of their marriage. She believed that her love and support could help Gig confront his demons, and for a moment they seemed to bask in the glow of marital bliss. The initial days of Gig Young and Kim Schmidt's marriage were filled with mixed emotions, joy intertwined with uncertainty. They often spent quiet evenings together, where Kim would attempt to introduce healthier habits into Gig's life, encouraging him to attend therapy and reduce his alcohol consumption. However, Young's resistance to change became increasingly evident. While Kim's determination to create a loving and stable home was admirable, she struggled to reconcile her hopes with the reality of Young's deteriorating mental state. Gig's mood swings and unpredictable behavior began to take a toll on Kim, who found herself navigating a delicate balance between supporting her husband and protecting her own emotional well-being. Their conversations, once filled with laughter and dreams, often shifted to tense discussions about Gig's drinking and mood. Kim's initial optimism began to wane as she faced the harsh reality that the man she married was not the same as the charming star she had fallen in love with. Friends observed the growing strain in their relationship, often describing Kim as a beacon of hope who was increasingly weighed down by the gravity of Young's struggles. Despite these challenges, Kim remained dedicated to her husband, often expressing her belief that love could conquer all. She held on to the hope that Gig would seek help and that their relationship could thrive, but as the days turned into weeks, it became clear that the shadows of Gig Young's past would continue to cast a long and ominous cloud over their brief marriage. As the days turned into weeks following their wedding, cracks began to appear in the seemingly perfect union of Gig Young and Kim Schmidt. Friends and family noticed a palpable shift in Gig's demeanor. His charming persona now masked an underlying turbulence. Reports began to emerge about Gig's increasing paranoia, mood swings, and erratic behavior. Once the life of the party, he became withdrawn and anxious, frequently lashing out over trivial matters. Conversations that once flowed freely turned into tense exchanges where Gig's insecurities bubbled to the surface. He often accused Kim of infidelity, despite her unwavering loyalty, reflecting his deep-seated fears of abandonment and inadequacy. The pressures of his past, failed relationships, professional disappointments, and persistent substance abuse seemed to haunt him, amplifying his distress. This growing instability worried those close to them. Friends observed how Kim tried to reassure Gig, often downplaying her own fears in favor of supporting her husband. However, the burden of his struggles took a toll on her, leading to a growing sense of isolation as she grappled with Gig's volatility. Kim Schmidt, deeply committed to Gig, found herself in a challenging position as she tried to navigate the tumultuous waters of their marriage. Despite her best efforts to provide support, she could not ignore the warning signs that loomed large. Friends and family began to express their concerns, recounting conversations where Kim confided her worries about Gig's mental state. "Gig is going through a rough patch, but I believe he can overcome this," she would often say, trying to maintain hope while masking her apprehensions. However, behind her hopeful words lay a growing fear. The man she loved was slipping further away from her grasp. Kim's friends noted how she often came to gatherings with a forced smile, attempting to conceal her distress. She was torn between her devotion to Gig and the realization that she might not be equipped to help him. Despite the love she felt for him, she began to question the sustainability of their relationship, fearing that the weight of his struggles might be too much for both of them to bear. On the evening of October 19, 1978, the atmosphere in Gig and Kim's Manhattan apartment appeared deceptively normal. Friends who had spoken with them earlier that week reported that Kim seemed optimistic, sharing plans for their future and expressing her determination to support Gig through his difficulties. However, those who knew Gig well sensed an underlying tension. The darkness that had been creeping into their lives was palpable. As the sun set that evening, the couple spent time together, engaging in seemingly routine activities. They shared a light dinner, perhaps discussing their upcoming projects or reminiscing about their early days together. But beneath the surface, a storm was brewing. Gig's mood fluctuated unpredictably, oscillating between affection and agitation, leaving Kim increasingly unsettled. Around 10 p.m. Kim, sensing the shift in Gig's mood, suggested they watch a movie, an attempt to distract him and create a moment of normalcy. However, as the hours passed, Gig's behavior became more erratic. Friends reported that he had been drinking heavily, a habit that exacerbated his paranoia and mood swings. Kim attempted to engage him, but he was distant, consumed by his own thoughts. In a moment of intense volatility, Gig's paranoia reached its zenith. He confronted Kim with accusations that felt baseless, tearing apart the fragile fabric of their relationship. Kim, shocked and distressed, struggled to reach the man she had married, but the emotional chasm between them widened. Their final conversation that night was fraught with tension, filled with heartache and desperation. As the clock ticked closer to midnight, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. In a moment of rage and despair, Gig reached for his registered firearm, a .38 caliber revolver he had owned for years. In that tragic culmination of fear, love, and despair, the lives of Gig Young and Kim Schmidt would be forever altered, leaving a haunting legacy that would echo through Hollywood and beyond. This last night would mark the end of their brief marriage, a life cut short by the very demons that had plagued Gig for so long. The tragedy that unfolded within those four walls would shock the world, revealing the hidden struggles that often lay beneath the glittering surface of fame and fortune. The shocking events that transpired on October 19, 1978, sent immediate shockwaves through Hollywood, reverberating far beyond the walls of Gig Young and Kim Schmidt's Manhattan apartment. The murder-suicide not only ended the lives of two individuals, but also left a profound impact on the entertainment community, fans, and the media. News of the tragedy spread rapidly, leaving a trail of devastation among Young's colleagues and friends. Many were left grappling with disbelief. After all, Gig Young had been a celebrated figure in Hollywood for decades. As news outlets broke the story, tributes poured in from fellow actors, directors, and industry insiders who expressed their sorrow over the loss. Fans, too, mourned the loss of an actor they admired. Online forums and fan clubs became places of remembrance, with individuals sharing their favorite performances and lamenting the abrupt end to a once thriving career. The duality of Young's talent and his personal struggles became a focal point for discussion, highlighting the often unseen battles faced by those in the limelight. In the days following the tragedy, the NYPD launched a thorough investigation. Officers quickly ruled the incident a murder-suicide, citing the evidence found at the scene, including the murder weapon illegally owned, .38 caliber revolver belonging to Young. However, as the investigation unfolded, many of Young's friends and colleagues began to voice their concerns regarding his mental state prior to the incident. Some speculated that his struggles with alcoholism had compounded his existing mental health issues, leading to paranoia and despair. Close friends noted that they had seen alarming changes in Young's behavior in the months leading up to the tragedy. They described a man increasingly isolated, plagued by anxiety about his dwindling career prospects, and growing more erratic in his interactions. Despite the official ruling, speculation lingered about the circumstances leading to the fatal decision. A few friends hinted at a need for deeper investigation, suggesting that the pressures of fame, coupled with Young's tumultuous personal life, may have played a significant role in his mental decline. The media quickly descended upon the story, eager to capture every detail of the tragic event. Tabloids and news outlets reported extensively on Young's illustrious past, showcasing his rise to fame alongside the shocking details of his downfall. The juxtaposition of his Oscar-winning career against the grim circumstances of his death turned the incident into a sensational spectacle. Reporters scoured through archives to highlight Young's career milestones, including his breakout roles and accolades, but they also dove into his troubled personal life. Sensational headlines, framed within the context of Hollywood's dark side, filled newspaper columns and television segments. The public was offered a raw glimpse into the glamorous yet perilous world of fame, underscoring how quickly it could turn to tragedy. Paparazzi camped outside the homes of Young's friends and family, seeking quotes and photographs that could shed light on the events. In the midst of this frenzy, many expressed frustration over the media's tendency to exploit personal tragedies for entertainment, leading to ethical questions about the treatment of those left behind in the wake of such disasters. As the dust settled, the story of Gig Young and Kim Schmidt became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the potential consequences of fame, the struggles that can often remain hidden, and the lasting impact of mental health on individuals within the spotlight. In death, their story ignited conversations about addiction, mental health awareness, and the responsibility of the media in reporting such sensitive topics. The legacy of their tragic end continues to echo in discussions about the price of fame in Hollywood and beyond. Gig Young, once a celebrated star of the silver screen, became synonymous with tragedy in the wake of his final act. His illustrious career, highlighted by an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, was marred by personal struggles that often went unaddressed. For decades, Young captivated audiences with his charm and talent, starring in classic films such as They Shoot Horses, Don't They? And The Last Sunset. Yet, as his fame grew, so did the shadows cast by his alcohol addiction and turbulent personal life. After the shocking events of October 19, 1978, many began to reflect on whether the signs of Young's deteriorating mental health had been ignored for too long. Friends and colleagues reported troubling behaviors, mood swings, paranoia, and erratic actions, yet he remained an enduring figure in Hollywood until the very end. His tragic demise sparked discussions about the pressures of fame and the personal demons that often lurked behind the glamour of celebrity life. In the aftermath, his once gilded reputation became intertwined with themes of despair, addiction, and the haunting question of what could have been had Young sought help before it was too late. Kim Schmidt, though lesser known than her husband, was a promising actress with a bright future ahead. At just 31, her life was tragically cut short, obscuring her potential as an artist in her own right. Friends described her as passionate and talented, eager to make her mark in an industry dominated by male stars. Her marriage to Young was seen by many as a fresh start, filled with hope and dreams of success. However, the violence of their last night together cast a long shadow over her legacy. In the aftermath of the tragedy, Kim's aspirations and artistic contributions were largely overlooked. The media's focus on Young's turbulent life overshadowed her identity, reducing her to a mere footnote in the narrative of his decline. Her untimely death served as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and talent, raising questions about how quickly potential can be extinguished in the face of personal turmoil. The story of Gig Young and Kim Schmidt shines a stark light on the dark side of Hollywood, the pressures of fame, the perils of addiction, and the struggles with mental health that many in the entertainment industry face. Their tragic ending serves as a cautionary tale about the impact of unchecked fame and the urgent need for support systems in an industry often characterized by isolation and competition. For years, The entertainment world has been grappling with the consequences of fame, revealing a pattern of addiction and mental health issues that too often go unaddressed. Young's story is just one of many, highlighting the urgent necessity for dialogue around mental health awareness and the importance of seeking help. The glitz and glamour of Hollywood can mask profound personal suffering, leading to tragic outcomes that resonate beyond the individuals involved. The legacy of Gig Young and Kim Schmidt ultimately serves as a sobering reminder of the complexities of human experience, the intersection of talent, ambition, and the darker realities of life in the spotlight. Their tragic love story endures not just as a scandal of Hollywood, but as a poignant reflection on the human condition, urging society to confront the often hidden struggles behind the facade of fame.